The time is now 5:30. The date is November the 16th, 2021. We will call to order the city council meeting for the city of Statesboro, Georgia. We will have our invocation and pledge of allegiance by council member Sherry Bond.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I invite you all to join me in pausing, quieting our minds, centering ourselves, and invoking whatever we hold highest to guide us for the next hour. Gracious God, I come before Thee grateful and open. Spirit of life, be with us all. Help us do what's in the best interest of life and love. May it be so. Amen. Amen. Blessed be.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move down to agenda item 3, public comments. Leah, are there any public comments?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. We'll move down to agenda item 4, consideration of a motion to approve the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes the approval of minutes from our November 2nd council minutes. In consideration of a motion for approval of surplus and disposition of a 2001 Dodge Ram 1500 in the Fleet Maintenance Division of the Public Works and Engineering Department. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, let it show that line item 4 has passed. We'll move down to agenda item 5, a public hearing in consideration of a motion to approve an application for an alcohol license in accordance with the city of Statesboro Alcohol Ordinance, section 6-13A. On the agenda, we have items A, Bites in Brampton, Bites on Brampton LLC, DBA Bites in the Borough, license type restaurant, 1302 Statesboro Place Circle, Statesboro, Georgia, 30458. The owner is Lenny and Carmen Mazery. We'll move down to agenda 5B, which is Ruby Tuesday Operations LLC, BDA Ruby Tuesday, number 3191, license type restaurant, 195 Northside Drive East, Statesboro, Georgia, 30458. Owner, Ruby Tuesday Operations LLC. Next we have 5C, M2K2, Food Market Incorporated, DBA Go Market, license type package sales, that is beer and wine, 2855 Northside Drive West, Statesboro, Georgia, 30458. The owner, Alure Dave. All right, is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, and we're gonna do these collectively. Planning and zoning, is there an issue with A, B, or C?
No issue, sir.
All right, Chief Graham?
No issues.
All right. Where's Chief, are you hiding in the back?
No issues, Mayor.
Okay, all right, Kane?
No issues, Mayor.
All right, is there anyone to speak for any of these requests? Is there anyone? Hold on. Is there anyone here to speak against these requests? All right. All right, we're gonna ask the council to close the hearing. Is anyone in favor?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, is there a motion to approve line items 5A, B, and C?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 6, public hearing and consideration of a motion to approve the application RZ 21-10-01. Sabrina Dunaway requests a zoning map amendment from the R6 single family residential zoning district to the CR commercial retail zoning district in order to allow for additional uses at the existing Masonic Hall on 6 Carver Street. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Kathy, if you will, give us some insight.
Yes, sir.
The applicant is requesting a zoning map amendment at 6 Carver Street from the R6 Single Family Residential Zoning District to the CR Commercial Retail Zoning District for the purpose of allowing events that would have alcoholic beverages for sale. Currently, the location serves as a Masonic Hall. The building on the site has historically not served as a residential space, and its use has been grandfathered. As of 2021, the space was renovated to serve as its current use as a meeting space. The location would still be used to host meetings and events and would not be utilized for any retail commercial uses. So you can see the site outlined in red on Carver Street. The future land use map shows the site to be located in what is proposed to be a commercial redevelopment area. The zoning map shows the site within the R6, but directly across the street from the commercial retail area. The top left shows a photo of the subject property. The bottom right shows a photo showing the property to the west. The top left photo shows adjacent property next to it. And then the bottom right shows property to the east. Staff recommends approval of RZ 21-10-01. If this petition is approved by the mayor and city council, it should be subject to the applicant's agreement to the following enumerated conditions. 1, approval of the zoning map amendment does not grant the right to develop on the site without approval. All construction must be approved by the city. 2, a parking plan must be submitted and approved prior to issuance of an alcohol license at this location. At the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission on November 2nd, 2021, the commission voted to approve RZ 21-1001 with a 5-0 vote. That is my presentation, sir.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, is there anyone here to speak for this request? Is there anyone here to speak against this request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any discussion by council?
What district is this in?
Yours?
Forgot about the audit.
Off of Donna Simmons over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. We'll move down to agenda item 7. Public hearing consideration of a motion to approve application sub 21-10-02. Robert Bell requests preliminary plat approval for a 16-lot residential subdivision for development of 16 single-family detached homes to continue the North Ridge subdivision on 58.48 acres located at Highway 301. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay.
Okay, the applicant, Robbie Bell, requests the third phase subdivision of a portion of a 48.48 acre lot off of Highway 301 North. The disturbed area will create 16 new homes. The intent of the applicant is to temporarily create a cul-de-sac until a final area master plan may be determined. The size of the lots are within the range of 8,000 to 10,000 square feet, which is an allowable lot size in the R4 zoning district for detached single-family dwellings. As background, the original subdivision was authorized under SUB 07-080-07 with the intent to develop the entire tract of land. However, the only portion developed is the first phase, which has become North Bridge Drive, North and South Bridgeport Drive, and Golden Gate Lane. Subsequently, a second phase subdivision was proposed and approved in June of 2021 to allow for the construction of 5 additional houses on Golden Gate Lane. So we're in phase 3. And this map shows outlined in red where the new phase 3 subdivision will be located. It's an extension of South Bridgeport Drive, and it goes right into that area. And you can see the existing homes there that were built under phase 1, And then on Golden Gate Lane, there was an additional 5 homes built as part of the phase 2. So this red outline delineates the phase 3. And the rest of the land is still vacant. It has been subdivided, but there's been no formal master plan yet for it. The future land use map shows as an established residential neighborhood. The zoning reflects the R4 zoning. The top left shows the subject property. That will be an extension of the existing South Bridgeport Drive Street. The property to the south is shown in the bottom right. The property to the southwest is shown on the top left, and the extreme southwestern property is shown on the bottom right. And then this shows the extension of that road with the new 16 lots to be developed. Staff recommends approval of the proposed preliminary plat subdivision. If this petition is approved by the mayor and city council, it should be subject to the applicant's agreement to the following enumerated conditions. 1, approval of this preliminary plat does not grant the right to develop on the site without approval. All construction must be reviewed and approved by the city. 2, all street lighting must meet city standards and be approved by the city. 3, utility easements, including but not limited to right-of-way, water, sewer, gas, etc., must be granted to the city as deemed necessary by the Department of Engineering. And 4, the final plat must meet all requirements of Article 3 of the City of Statesboro zoning ordinance before being presented to the city for approval and before any houses may be sold in this expansion of the subdivision. At the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission on November 2nd, 2021, the Commission voted to approve SUV 21-10-02 with a 5-0 vote. That is my presentation. Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak for the request?
Good evening, everybody. I'm Wes Sherrod with Parker Engineering. On behalf of Robbie Bell, just here to answer any questions you may have about this subdivision.
Thank you.
The houses, the new houses, are they gonna be,
Councilman Reed, we're gonna do what's council discussion. All right? Anyone here to speak against the request? All right, seeing that there's none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Councilman Reed.
The houses, for the new houses, are they gonna be, held to the same standards as the rest of the houses in the neighborhood?
Right, so the phase 2, what's going on right there, it'll be the same in phase 3.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Which is roughly what square footage or what kind of covenants are on it?
Well, it's over like 1,600 square feet, I
I think that's correct. Is that about right, Robbie? The size of the houses that you're putting on there?
But by 16 or more?
Right.
Yes.
See,
1,600 square feet or more, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Any further questions from council?
Thank you, we need more
Mhm.
houses.
All right, thank you, we appreciate it. All right, thank you. All right, with no further discussion by council, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you guys, we appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 8, which is a public hearing, consideration of a motion to approve application 21-10-03. Roosevelt Cone Jr. requests a special exception in order to locate sports memorabilia shop in the Sheriff Building at 8 East Olive Street. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Kathy, if you will.
Thank you. The applicant is requesting a special exception from the regulations of the office district as per Article 9, Section 901G, in order to place a sports memorabilia shop at 8 East Olive Street. As per the aforementioned article, authorized uses for special exceptions include retail establishments which are found to be complementary to the surrounding uses permitted in the district and authorizes a special exception. The building currently has a defunct youth development center and a moving and packing service on the premises. Specifically, the applicant is seeking to use the space formerly allocated for the youth development center to create a sports memorabilia shop. As per section 901G of the Statesboro zoning ordinance, a retail establishment may be allowed if they are found to be complementary uses to the surrounding uses in the district. As this location is adjacent to some high-intensity commercial use, such as the Dairy Queen and the gas stations, it serves as a less heavily used transitional area. And with that, you can see the site outlined in red on Olaf Street. The future land use map shows this to be in a commercial redevelopment area. The zoning is office, and which is why the special exception is required, because that use is not allowed in an office use. The subject property is shown at the top left. The bottom right shows property to the west. The top left shows property to the north, and the bottom right shows adjacent property. Staff recommends approval of SE 21-10-03. If this petition is approved by the mayor and city council, it should be subject to the applicant's agreement to the following enumerated conditions. 1, approval of the special exception does not grant the right to develop on the property without adherence to the city code and approval by the Department of Planning and Development. At the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission on November 2nd, 2021, the commission voted to approve SE 21-10-03 with a 5-0 vote. That is my presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kathy. Is there anyone here to speak for the request? Is there anyone here to speak against the request? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any council discussion? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Let us show that agenda item 8 has passed. We move down to a public hearing, consideration of a motion to approve application 521-10-04. Renfro Outdoor LLC requests a variance from Article 15, Section 1511H of the Statesboro zoning ordinance in order to place an LED billboard at the gateway of Highway 67 in Veterans Memorial Parkway. Item 9B is application 521-09-05. Renfro Outdoor LLC requests a variance from Article 15, Section 1511B of the Statesboro zoning ordinance in order to place a tri-directional sign at the gateway of Highway 67 in Veterans Memorial Parkway. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So,
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Kathy?
The applicant is requesting a variance from both Article 15, Section 1511H, which requires that all illuminated signs shall use base or top-mounted lights and shall be activated by photoelectric cells, as well as Article 15, Section 1511B, which specifies that no more than one sign structure shall be allowed to face the same direction. These variances are required in order to relocate a currently existing billboard and upgrade the billboard to a tri-vision electronic billboard. The applicant is seeking to change the location of a billboard that previously received a variance for electronic upgrades from a two-sided LED billboard to a new parcel, which would require 2 variances in order to utilize LED on the site, as well as to enlarge the billboard from 2 to 3 sides. Tri-vision signs are generally prohibited throughout the city, and there is currently no precedent for a sign of this type and size throughout the city. So with that, this red shows the proposed site. It's a tree site at the moment. It's on the intersection of Highway 67 and Veterans Memorial Parkway. It's in the southeast corner, just next door and one up from the End Market gas station. The future land use map shows this parcel to be in the gateway area. The zoning map shows this to be in the commercial retail zone. The subject property is on the top left. You can see it's a wooded area. The bottom right shows the property across the street on the west. The top left shows the property to the south, which shows the end market gas station with the billboard that a couple of months ago was upgraded to an LED billboard. The property to the southwest is shown in the bottom right. This is a illustration of a comparable sign that's currently located in Pooler. But I wanted to show this to you because this is what the Tri-Vision billboard would look like. The next slide shows, if you go back and look at the Pooler one, you can see it's sort of a basic billboard. This proposed billboard for Statesboro is proposed to have a little more architectural element on it, as well as some landscaping at the bottom. This slide shows the movement of the billboard from its current location in front of the end market, approximately 300 feet to the north, to a new location at the corner of Veterans Memorial and Fair Road. And then this next slide I wanted to show you delineates essentially the area within the city where billboards are allowed. This is called Sign District 2. And essentially it includes all of Northside Drive within the city limits, as well as on the bottom there, on the southern end, you can see there's a bit of Fair Road up until it hits the bypass, and the same with 301. So those essentially three areas are where billboards are currently allowed. I just wanted you to have that information. Staff recommends approval of V21-10-04 and V21-10-05. If this petition is approved by the mayor and city council, it should be subject to the applicant's agreement to the following enumerated conditions. 1, approval of this variance does not grant the applicant the right to make structural changes to the billboard. All modifications must be approved for the issuance of a sign permit. At the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission on November 2nd, 2021, the Commission voted to approve V21-10-04 and V21-10-05 with a 5-0 vote. That was my presentation.
Thank you, Kathy. Is there anyone here to speak for the request?
Good afternoon. My name is Matt Matthews. I'm representing Renfro Outdoors, and I have Mr. Ben Jones here with me. We appreciate your time this afternoon, and I'll be brief. So the plan here is just to provide something that's much more aesthetically attractive to the city, and the hope is that it'll serve as a welcome sign for the city, something that the city can be proud of, and it's going to be replacing this old industrial style steel frame billboard that's there now. They haven't actually upgraded it from the Tri-Vision that rotates to the LED because this opportunity came up shortly after we got the approval for that to purchase this parcel on the corner and move it over here. So it'll have some architectural elements, as you saw in the illustration there. It'll have screens on 3 sides with the V facing towards the bypass, a smaller screen facing south down 67, and then 2 normal sized billboard screens facing east and west. And you may recall from our discussion about the LED upgrades to the 2 billboards that they have in town now, that they offer the opportunity to put emergency messages up on their LED billboards. Well, with this one, they're taking it a step further, and they're offering to partner with the city and provide them with one 10-second screen on each of those 3 sides that is of the city's choosing. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an emergency situation. It can be whatever the city wants to do. If the mayor welcomes you to Statesboro, Georgia, or announcing events or anything like that. So, and they're also offering to train a city staff member to come in and actually upload the image that they want to put on the sign. And again, as with the billboard, the LED billboard discussion, this is not going to be something that has animation. It'll be a static image that just changes out every 10 seconds. And it's gonna dim and brighten with the ambient light. So at nighttime, it'll be dimmed so that it's not shining and bright in your face. And then in the daytime, it'll be brighter so it's more easily seen. And it will comply with all of the applicable DOT regulations as well. So, Mr. Jones and I are both here to answer any questions you might have, and we appreciate your time this afternoon.
Thank you. Is there anyone here to speak against the request?
Mayor, Council, thanks for a minute. I'm not necessarily opposed, but you need to know that that is the highest crash location in the city, has been for several years running, and I'm a little bit concerned that the eye-catching distraction of this is only gonna lead to more crashes, and I think before you make a decision, you need to always be aware of the statistics there. Thank you.
Is there anyone else to speak for or against the request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll now open it up for council discussion. We got Councilman Reeves.
Personally, I think it's too much on that corner. I apologize for this. That's the intersection I drive through every day. And I just think that's too big for that. I agree with the earlier variance that we gave you the last time. I like that one. Sorry, but I'm not for the tri-sided at the corner.
Okay. Councilwoman Barr.
Yeah, I have similar concerns. Also, I have a question about, you were saying 10 seconds, so you're saying, if this were approved, you're saying you want to volunteer 10 seconds of every hour that the city would provide content? Was that what you were saying, or 10 seconds a day, or?
Yeah, we give the city 1 of 7 spots in a rotation for y'all to use for whatever type of messaging the city would like, whether it be a welcome to Statesboro, or we've got to create an evacuation route, or we've got an Amber Alert, or, COVID shots, it's yours to use.
And so it would be one 10-second slot every 70 seconds.
Gotcha.
Once a minute.
Thank you. That's helpful to know.
And to add to respond to the concern that's been expressed, I think, and I don't mean to speak for Mr. Jones, but they're very much flexible in terms of suggestions or comments on the design and placement of the sign so that it alleviates your concern. They're not beholden to exactly where it's shown on the picture, and are very willing to work with the city to come up with something that they're proud of and are willing to stand behind and put their name on.
I appreciate that.
So I have another question. Did you have something, Phil? I had another question, I guess, of Kathy or Jason. So I know we don't get to tell people they can't cut down trees on their own property. I like this being a wooded lot, and I like the trees better than any kind of sign that could go there. But what we can do, what we do in the city of Statesboro, is if people cut down all those trees, they put money into the tree fund so the city can plant more trees somewhere else. Is that correct? Who can tell me?
Yes. So there's a tree canopy requirement that has to be met. If they can demonstrate to the tree board that they can't meet that, then they have the option to request payment into the tree bank.
I'm sorry, say it again.
So there's a tree canopy requirement that must be met. By the tree ordinance, there's a tree canopy requirement that must be met. And so if they can demonstrate to the tree board that they cannot meet that tree canopy requirement for whatever the hardship is, then the tree board will consider whether they can make payment into the tree bank to offset that.
So generally, somebody wants to take down trees, has to put another tree somewhere else on the property, but since this is fully wooded, it would probably be paying into the tree bank.
It depends. I mean, they'd have to submit a tree plan and demonstrate hardship, request to the tree board, but they can't meet that.
Thank you.
Any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none.
I'm sorry, I do have one more question. I'm curious, and say, I understood you to say, Ms. Field, that there is staff approved this? So was the police report not included before that decision was made, or tell me about that?
Please let me answer that. Okay, the original recommendation from staff to the planning board was for denial. The planning board recommended approval. Staff and in presenting to the council, we present to you the planning board's recommendation. But typically in these documents, we would say that staff does not recommend it. And so we don't look like we're not fighting the planning board, but staff's original recommendation was for denial for this billboard, triplex billboard at this intersection. Got I answer?
What was the
Has it
denial
changed,
for?
or?
I'm confused. What was the denial for?
I'm sorry.
What was the denial for?
The
You
denial
denied-
was for the billboard, this triplex
What the-
billboard to go to that intersection.
Why was the denial brought forth?
I'm gonna let,
Sure.
and then if need be, I'll
Yeah.
share some more.
The denial was for the fact that it was just too big. It was an additional 300 feet of billboard that was going to go there. And then as the chief eloquently spoke in regard to the fact that this is a high-traffic incident intersection. As a matter of fact, when the staff went out to take pictures, these pictures, there was an accident. So there's just a lot of conflict. And we felt by having a three-sided, rather large sign, it would be distracting to the drivers on that intersection. So that was another.
So that was why you wanted to deny. Why did you approve it?
The planning board
Okay, gotcha.
And
approved.
so we follow the planning commission in that
Gotcha.
sense.
Okay.
But I also think that Ms. Fields demonstrated in the presentation, you have limited where these billboards have gone. And I'm gonna say this as your manager and just share with you, and however council votes is how council votes, and we're gonna carry out the wishes. I think the council has to decide, what you want our city to look like. And this is a major intersection coming into our community. That's a major lot, right there it's a gateway. And is that the highest and best use for that piece of property for a triplex billboard? And then development that will go behind it. And there's already a billboard 300 feet, is that south?
Yeah.
South of it. And so we just simply are moving billboards. It's not as if it's not already there. And typically, I don't share any, I don't share my professional opinion during this period, but it is something that council has to think about. And then I'm just add one more thing. A month ago, you authorized us to rewrite the zoning ordinance and the sign ordinance. And since that time, we have had a couple of variances. And we don't know what the rewrite of the zoning ordinance and sign ordinance will be. We are not saying that it's gonna be more restrictive. But it just seems like we just had at least 2 meetings where we've had variances for billboards that have come before, and don't know if the intent is to get out in front of our sign ordinance rewrite. But once this is there, it's there. And it sort of really establishes the precedents, and it will dictate future development along that corridor. And that is our challenge. We're not opposed to billboards. Billboards have their places. The question is that the right place for
If I can add, or follow up to that, I want to make sure that you guys understand that, well, number one, speaking to the timing of it, the timing is 100% because the lot became available, and my clients were able to come to terms with the seller on a price. As for the aesthetic, and as for whether or not it's something that we want on that gateway into Statesboro, that's the very reason we're here, and we're offering an architectural option. And my clients are very much open to suggestions and guidance from the city in terms of making this look like something the city can be proud of. So this is the concept that they came up with. This is the concept that they're presenting, but it's presented with an open invitation to suggestions on conditions that want to be put in place in terms of placement and design and whatever else you guys want, whatever other input you guys might have. And also, as far as developing the rest of the lot, I mean, that sign is going to be a very small portion of that lot. And there is still it's almost an acre, and you can see on the picture here, I mean, we're talking about something that's a small portion of that lot, and they don't have anything set in stone in terms of what they do with the rest of that 9 some odd acres. And they're very much open to what you guys have to suggest for what you want to see there. They want this to be a partnership with the city. They want this to be something that welcomes people into the city, definitely not an eyesore. And that sign that is 300 feet to the south is coming down. It's leased right now, and if this is approved, the purpose is to replace that, and it will not be going back. So that sign that's up at the end market will go away. It belongs to them. The sign belongs to them, and it will not stay there. It'll be moved up the street, and the plan is for something that's much more aesthetically pleasing, much more aesthetically attractive to the city. And as far as the traffic's concerned, I haven't seen any statistics on it. This is not something that we came prepared to present any data on, because we assumed, based on the way the handout was, that the staff was recommending approval. But in any event, I think the fact that is a dangerous intersection without a sign speaks volumes, because I suspect that the reason you see so many there is just because there's so many cars passing through that intersection. It's one that, as Councilman Riggs said, a significant number of Bullitt County residents pass through every day for one reason or another. We're here to answer any questions you have. We want you to be comfortable with what's going up there, but I want to make sure you understand that this is something that my clients view very much as a partnership with the city. So we're here to answer any questions, and I don't mean to take Mr. Jones's. I don't mean to speak for him, so if you have questions about the specifics, feel free to ask either one of us.
Thank you. All right, Council, any further discussion?
I've got a suggestion or a question to council. First, I want to say thank you both for your willingness, and I do appreciate that, and you've made it sound much better. I still have some concerns about it. I wonder if it might be appropriate, because we've got this whole consultation going on, the recommendations on zoning coming forward, whether it might be good to have kind of a moratorium on sign variances till we get more information from that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm asking y'all and staff if that might be a good thing to do, to kind of postpone making these decisions until we have more information.
Okay, thank you. Council members, any follow-up on Mrs. Barr's suggestion?
I mean, that's certainly worth considering. I think there is some concern that we mentioned that we're gonna change the ordinance, and all of a sudden the flood comes in. This, and that's not the first time that's happened. You know, as soon as you mention you're gonna change the rules, everybody tries to squeeze in. But if there's one thing I'm concerned about, it's just the sheer scale of that thing. You know, when you're looking at the volume of traffic at Pooler and where that particular sign is in Pooler, that is a tremendous amount of people that go through there, not to mention the fact, that's just a larger scale place. And I am a little concerned about that size fitting in Statesboro, but I think to Ms. Councilwoman Barr's point, you know, maybe we need to look at the new sign ordinance as a whole and see how this fits in with the other things that we're trying to do. I hesitate to deny it because then they can't do anything for 6 months, so, but I'm interested in what you suggested.
I kind of concur with Ms. Barr. I don't necessarily want to deny it either, but, you know, concerned about the safety of the citizens of Statesboro. So I think that when we talk about getting the ordinance for these signs, that's something that's very imperative that we need to, you know, address, so that we have a standard, an updated standard that we can follow when it comes down to individuals who want to, you know, put up signs. So I kind of, you know, I concur with Ms. Barr on this one. Just kind of hold off on that.
In my position, thank y'all for being good citizens. Just appreciate y'all. Wish everybody could come in Statesboro and act the same way that y'all do. I apologize, that sign is just absolutely too big for that corner for me. And it's just too big. It's just too big. Thank you for all y'all do, and I hate to vote against it either, to keep y'all from having to make a sale and then put up a sign. If we do vote it down, they won't be able to do anything for 6 months, correct?
Right.
And if we don't even make a motion on it, the 6 months doesn't matter, correct?
6 months doesn't come into play unless we place a moratorium for that time.
Unless we place a moratorium on it.
Well, the moratorium would maybe forestall other folks coming forward, though. So we could just defer, we could take no action on their application and then decide to put in a moratorium? Would that be right, Kane? Is that, okay. So we take no action on theirs, it doesn't limit when they can come back, but then we have to decide if we want to have a moratorium and how long on sign variances.
So what pleases the council? Do we want to make a motion to deny, or do we want the council to take no action in regards to agenda item 9?
I say take
No action.
No action? Okay.
No action.
Right. All right, and so please note for the record, Leah, that the council is taking the position of taking no action in regards to line item 9A and 9B.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, is there a motion for a moratorium on future billboard signage in the, for over the next 6 months?
Variances.
A moratorium on the variances, right?
Right, Article 15 variances.
Okay. All right,
So we,
so is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
I'm assuming this is said language?
That is,
It's freestanding sign.
It's
I
precinct.
mean,
freestanding signs
Okay.
under Article
And
15.
Kane, per order, do we need to read the language? Or-
Just a synopsis of it. So essentially what this would be is a moratorium on the application and consideration of variances under Article 15 as it relates to freestanding signs, and this would run from today's date until November 16th. I'm sorry, until May 16th of 2022.
Okay. All right. Is there a second to foresee more?
I have a question, John.
Here, and this is a point of privilege,
Thank you. So,
if you will.
yes,
Tell us who you are, where you from.
I'm Todd McIntosh. I own a corner of real estate, Boyd's Barbecue. I have a sign there, but I have people who are interested in looking at the property. If they want to change that sign, is this moratorium going to change their ability to have a sign there for 6 months and wait to be approved
This is
for their business?
billboards.
Oh, this is, Okay, only billboards you're speaking of, because I can't really say signs.
It's for variances from any freestanding sign.
Yeah.
Billboard, so as long as any sign permit was in compliance with the current specifications under Article 15, it would certainly be allowed. The
But
question
mine is not, see, mine is grandfathered, it's a taller sign.
You're talking about the one,
And I
talking about the
understand-
one at the Boyd?
Yeah, I
You're talking
understand.
about moving that one?
Not moving it, but
But
them
someone
them
taking
having
over
a
the
new
building
name or a
could
new,
be-
because I'm looking to sell that corner or lease that corner, and we actually have a restaurant that's renting it right now, they just haven't done anything yet.
So Kane, how would this apply to, businesses that's grandfathered?
I would let Ms. Field the grandfather would be permitted, correct?
Sure, yeah.
Yes. It wouldn't affect, that would affect variances on new.
We're only talking about building signs, not, if you wanna change,
If you're changing ownership.
I mean, if you got a billboard and you just wanna change the vinyl, I think you can change the vinyl. That's what-
Okay, but the structure is outside of the
You can't
current
change the
guidelines.
structure, but you can change the vinyl.
Okay, so they can use that and put their name, whatever it is, without having to wait for 6 months to have a new
There's
name.
no rules on the vinyl, is there?
No, this is just on variances from the ordinance, a thing for new signs.
This is building the actual sign itself,
Okay,
not
so,
changing out.
so
the
they
whole
can put a
building.
new front and back on that, and if it's a full rectangle instead of a particular shape, that's okay?
That would need to go through planning and development, but this wouldn't affect that. This is just for new stuff.
Just trying to clarify.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for clarification too. I thought if somebody had an oversized billboard, but it was there before zoning set aside, then they could keep it up. But if it changed ownership, then it had to comply with the newer regulations. Did I misunderstand that?
No, that's, it's, if a storm hits it and 50% of it goes down, it loses its grandfathered status. Otherwise, it can stay, and regardless of the owner. The structure can stay. Okay, the only time it loses its grandfather is if it falls down because of low maintenance or a storm hits it. But other than that,
So it's not tied to the owner?
no.
Okay.
Right, and so you keep the structure, but you can change it out. If, in terms of if there's a new business that goes in or something like that.
As far as its shape as well, like if they wanna make it a full
You'll
rectangle?
have to,
instead of
you'll have to
some
give
kind
it to us, for us to look at, to make sure it's not more than 50% of a change out. There's a measurement that we'll have to look at, okay? But it all ties to 50%.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And so, do we have a second on the moratorium, per recommendation?
A second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, all those opposed? All right, seeing that there is none, we'll move on to the next agenda item. Agenda item 10. Agenda item 10 reads as follows. Consideration of a motion to approve the proposed uses of the American Rescue Act funds as follows. Housing rehabilitation, $5 million. Infrastructure, $6 million. Food insecurities, $500,000. Lost revenue, $806,220. Total amount, $12,306,220. Mr. Penny, if you will, give us an example.
Mayor, members of the council, we recommend that these funds be set aside for the proposed uses that you outlined. We went through, we believe that it will comply with the requirements of the ARPA funds. And we have had public meetings about the proposed use for housing, for the infrastructure, and the food insecurities. What I will say to council is that although, and why this is important tonight, in particular for housing redevelopment to move forward, and even for infrastructure to move forward, we need to know that you agree with the proposed uses, and we will need to bring forward to you a consultant contract so we can get started on the housing piece. Without you giving us some sign that you approve the uses of the funds as we've outlined, it'd be very difficult for us to move the plan forward. And so we do recommend that you approve the proposed uses. However, I still want to just stress to the council, you still maintain flexibility. Because if we had some things like the food insecurities, basically, that's up to $500,000. That would be matched by the county, but if it comes in under that, then we might find another use. The funds for the lost revenue, that really is a placeholder for us because, you know, we may have lost some revenue, but it's a placeholder, and as things develop and as the rules and guidelines become more evident, we might come back to you and say, we recommend using these funds for this. So although you might approve the uses tonight, there's still flexibility to come back to you. The only thing I think is important to remember is we have to determine how we're gonna spend these funds by December 31st, 2024. Okay. No. Is it 24? And we have to expend the funds by the December 31st, 2026. So it's not like we have a rush, but our sense of urgency has to do with, we've been talking about housing rehab, and we need to be able to move forward.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penn. Any discussion by council?
If I may, just to clarify, this is almost like creating a budget for a CIP. You'll come back with project specifics and everything else, but this is just it's almost like a budget allocation. It just happens to be because we got this extra funding. Would that be accurate?
That
Or at
is
least pretty
accurate.
close?
Now, when we start talking about the housing pieces, and after y'all agree to the policies, when we bid those out, we'll work through that process because we don't want to hold up a housing rehab waiting for a council meeting. But if you set the parameters, we would just bid those out, and those wouldn't come to the council every time. But
No, but that'll all be part of the
Yeah.
program we'll put together. Yeah?
Right.
Yeah.
And just one other thing I wanted to kind of confirm and just say out loud. It's flexible, but the anticipated use of that food insecurities would be the matching money to help build a new food bank.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the county this morning voted to take their first step, because they're the lead on getting the CDBG grant.
Right.
So this is just the money that we would match to help build a new food bank.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any further discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Let the agenda item show that, agenda item 10 has passed. We'll move down to agenda item 11, consideration of a motion to award a contract to Y Delta in the amount of $54,708 to repair and replace the older section of the roof of the fire station 1. This project will be funded out of the FY 2022 fire fund. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, I think you pretty much explained that we have some roof work we need to have done, and we are recommending that you approve the award of the contract to Y Delta for the $54,708.
Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there's no discussion, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Let us show that agenda item 11 is passed. We move down to agenda item 12, consideration of a motion to award a contract to DPR Architect to provide architectural services for the redesign and remodeling of Fire Station 2 on Fair Road in the amount of $26,500. This project will be funded out of the FY 22 fire fund.
Mayor, members of the council, down at Fire Station 2, which is on the main road, Fair Road, we need to do some work there, and we need to have on a contract issued to the DPR Architecture so they can do the design, and so we are recommending the award of the contract to them. As we get it designed, depending upon the amount of the work, it's gonna come back to you for you to award the bid. So we do recommend approval of the contract.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council?
I'm just curious, is this amount necessary to go through the city's bid process, or is it a small enough amount that it's a single vendor?
think we went through the bid.
It's a professional
It's
service.
a professional service contract, and with the professional service contract, we can negotiate. But the last one went through the bid process, and this one, and I want to ask Darren, did we go through a bid process?
No,
We just negotiated this contract.
It was professional service.
Okay, thank you.
I
Just
think we're
curious.
using DPR, is that the one we're using for City Hall, and the Joe Brandon Hall?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 13, consideration of a motion to approve the additional expenditure of $38,086 from grant funds to Hawk Construction LLC for continued construction across a range facility. Mr. Penny?
Mayor, we received some grant funds to make some improvements to, out at the range facility, and we recommend that you approve the contract with Hawks, to move forward with this project.
All right, any discussion by council?
Hawks Construction, I'm sorry.
Any discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in motion?
In favor? Aye.
Consideration of a motion to authorize the expansion of the Statesboro Police Department Dispatch Center and to include the necessary staffing and equipment to provide response for Statesboro Fire Department calls. Mr. King.
Mayor, members of the council, if you remember at the work session in October, we brought before you a recommendation that we create the police fire communication center in our fire station. The purpose is to ensure that we control the quality of communication between our dispatch center and our firefighters when they're working a fire. And we've talked with the folks at the county, recognizing the 911 center would still be a part, but it would very much operate the way that the police operates at this point. And the county's operation is managing 3 different counties, and it's important for quality control that we have our own dispatch center that's concentrating on our fire operations. We gave you an amount of about $450,000 in order to set this up. However, we would like to be able to move forward in the beginning of the January of the new year in trying to hire staff. So it's the cost for staff is about $269,000 for a full year. So for this year, you're not gonna have a full year. We anticipate being able to activate the communication center July 1, 2022. So there's some costs associated with the communication center in order to be able to, there's some fixed costs, one-time costs that we will incur. But we do recommend that you authorize us to move forward so that we can begin getting the police fire communication center operational, in particular, to be in effect, full effect by July 1, 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in
I
favor?
do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
We're talking about hiring 8 new dispatchers?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, please, y'all don't take it the wrong way. I thought we needed more frontline firefighters. Am I wrong? Did we have a study?
Yeah.
Big study?
You did.
Frontline, we just hired 9 firefighters.
Okay.
And so that part. But in order to be able to staff 24/7, all the shifts, this will ensure that people have time off. And so we can't start with anything less than 6. 6 is a minimum, but 8 would be an optimum number to have in the communication center.
Okay.
And Ms. Riggs, I know you know this. In police and fire operations, the police officers are important. The firefighters are important. But I'm telling you, it all starts
With
in the
the call.
communication center. And I know you know that. And so when those folks, when those police officers are on the scene or firefighters on the scene, we gotta make sure we got adequate staff. And so these are critical to, I mean, really it is the brains of the police and fire operation.
So we need 2 more dispatchers for every shift?
Again, I'm gonna let police chief.
Sorry, that was a one and not trying to stop you on.
No, you're good.
Mayor and council, thanks for the question. Really, it is a question of doubling the staff in there so that there's always a person available. Because if there's a fire call, particularly like a structure fire, they need a lot of intensive dispatch assistance at that time. And so we always need to have, right now we schedule 1 to 2 dispatchers per shift. We try to do an overlap so we can get extra staffing in there. Those 2 dispatchers, particularly when it's busy, are busy nonstop for their entire shift. So we really need to add a 3rd dispatcher into every shift so that if there is a structure fire, that person can be dedicated to the fire channel and do nothing else.
Will all of the dispatchers be cross-trained?
They will.
So fire can do
yeah.
police,
That's
police
right.
can do fire?
That's right.
Okay.
In fact, our intention, Councilman, is to send them through the police fire dispatching training first. Once they get certified as a police dispatcher, then they'll go to the cross-train to learn the fire piece, so that it's always people on staff, on shift, that can work the fire channel if necessary.
Yeah, I just want to add something to that. Chief Broadhead hit on this. You know, alarms, car fires, dumpster fires, those are pretty straightforward. Hey, we're en route, we're on scene. Structure fires, they are literally part of the operation. It's hard to multitask when you have a working structure fire, especially if we have entrapment or a mayday situation, which is a firefighter gets trapped. But that's, you know, we are not a huge city running, 15,000 fire calls a year. So it's also going to aid in when the police department is busy. So, the months that we've looked at this, I think that we're gonna get double benefit out of it, really. We're gonna get better, not that 911 wasn't, meeting needs, but there were some real concerns. If we had something, would they have somebody that would be able to be dedicated to that line? So, but it won't be, we need 1 dispatcher and that's all they do, and, we got 2 over here sitting working, and this one, we don't have fire calls, so they're sitting back, eating Cracker Jacks. That's not what it's gonna be. It's just, we need to make sure we have somebody when we do have that working fire.
Well, and making sure they're not going, full board.
Well,
For
one
that
job
full
is
8-hour
where I was
shift
coming
is
from.
important too,
Thank
mental
you.
health.
Y'all are the smartest guys in the room, so I'll do what y'all say.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that. I mean, this past year, we had a lot of fires, from what I can tell. Every week, we were getting fire reports, so I know that you guys were, impacted greatly, especially dispatch. So I'm all in favor of the dispatchers and, adding the adequate amount of staff that you need, because if one person is just handling this situation and another fire breaks out, then what the heck? What we gonna do? So I'm all in favor of, getting you the proper assistance that you need, because it helps out, with the workload, but also it helps out mentally. So, I'm in favor of it.
So it sounds like our police chief and our fire chief are saying, yeah, y'all, well, let's do this.
Absolutely.
Gotcha, thanks.
We did have a motion, there was a second, but we paused so that we could hear the questions. Who do we have on that second?
Second.
Okay, all right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 15, consideration of a motion to approve a sole source purchase from Patrol PC and a piggyback contract purchase with West Chatham for the upfitting of 4 new F-150 police pursuit vehicles in the amount of $109,000. Ben?
Mayor, members of the council, at the last council meeting, you authorized us to purchase 4 additional F1, have to make sure I get it right, 150 for the police pursuit. And all this is the money to upfit those, the vehicles. And we had adequate amount of money left over from the purchase of the vehicles to cover that cost. We do recommend that you approve the $109,000 in order to upfit these trucks.
Any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve? Second. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move to agenda item 16, consideration of a motion to award a contract to Wade Ford for 2 F-550 service trucks in the total amount of $124,024 per the Georgia State Purchasing Contract for the Public Utilities Department. Mr. Payne.
Mayor, again, these vehicles are in our capital improvement plan, and these are 2 vehicles, 2 trucks for the Public Utilities Department, which we recommend approval.
Any discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We move to agenda item 17, consideration of a motion. Consideration of award of contract to Delta Incorporated for the Johnson Street Culvert Improvements Project in the amount of $298,889.87. This project will be funded by 2013 SPLOST proceeds.
Mayor, members of the council, this is a couple of major, well, I would say major pipes, about 124 linear feet of storm drain that needs to be installed to improve stormwater flow and culverts. And so we recommend Wydell to be awarded the contract in the amount of $298,889.87.
Thank you. Any discussion by council?
I was just curious where they are. It's on Johnson Street, how far out, or,
Jason.
thank you.
So this is the area between Bullock Street and Johnson Lane. So if you drive down Johnson Street from West Main Street, you see there's a large ditch on the left-hand side, heading out of town, so to speak. On the right-hand side, you just see a small little ditch with some homes, and we see some flooding in that area. This will help alleviate that, get that water out of there quicker, to alleviate that flooding on those upstream properties.
So it's all in right-of-way or city property, just putting into a better drainage?
It probably includes, I don't know the specifics, but it probably includes some temporary construction easements to do some grading in the area to be able to get the proper drainage that it needs for these larger pipes than what's there now.
Thank you.
Any further discussion by council? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move down to agenda item 18, other business from city council. Is there any other business from council?
Mr. Penny, are you gonna talk about the upcoming Vax clinics, or shall I announce them?
I will let you announce.
Okay.
I've got several other items, but if you take care of them, Ms. Barr, I appreciate it.
Okay, sure. So many folks are probably aware of the fact that the farmer's market here closes out their season with a downtown lantern light, shopping by lantern light. That'll be a week from today, Tuesday the 23rd, at the our back parking lot. But during that time, Squash the Spread Group is going to have a tent and get some medical folks there to answer questions that people might have about vaccination. The city is sponsoring another vaccination clinic. Because the providers won't set up in November out of doors, the Averett Center has allowed the city to set up, or the providers, to set up and do the actual vaccinations in the lobby of the Averett Center. So that'll be next Tuesday night, I think it's like 5:30 till 8, something like that, but it'll be during the time of, did you have that, Elaine?
6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
6 to 8:30 is, yeah, when the vaccination people will be there. And the first folks who get there will be eligible, if it's a new vaccination, for the $50 gift card. We still have 40 of those. 22?
42.
42 of those left. So the first 42 people to get a new vaccination, next Tuesday night, will get one of those gift cards. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else from council?
I have something. Anybody else? I am going to be pushing that all of this lovely new tax revenue we get from selling all this liquor is all put towards public safety, drug interdiction, addiction treatment, and violence suppression. Push for it next week, then I'll push all of it.
All of it now. I'll give you a percentage.
We can talk about it, I'm just letting you know it's coming.
Talk about it.
And I won't back down on this.
Stand
More
your ground.
people in this world have had their lives ruined by alcohol and crack, meth, anything, you can add them all up, and it's been, alcohol is the number one, absolutely the number one cause of broken families, going to jail, all of it. And I think this is, I think it's appropriate, and I'll be pushing for it.
All right, anybody else?
I got another one too.
Uh-oh.
Who's ready?
Uh-oh.
Every year for Christmas, all of our employees get $100 bill. That's how much I got when I worked at Jackson's Grocery on West Main Street, when I was 16 years old.
You got $100 when you were 16?
That's right. Jackson's Grocery. And at Andrew's Clean Corner over there. $100 too.
That was a long time ago.
I was very happy for that. That's right, a long time ago. And now we've got 300 and something employees that are getting $100 a year. We are talking about giving $250 or $500 to just $250 to those people who work for us and who are vaccinated. I have been doing a lot of thinking about this, been doing a lot of talking to people. There are many people out there that cannot get shots because their doctor has told them not to. Blood clotting, there's being allergic to things. I don't feel as though I can give $250 to somebody and not to somebody else who wants to get the vaccination. Because I know people that want to get vaccinated, but their doctor says no. So I say give every employee $250 plus the $100.
I ain't with that one, John.
Did you get that?
I got it, but I'm just not, with you on that one. I'm with you with the funding, with the drugs and the alcohol and putting some money into those programming. The last one, I'm gonna let you stand on that one.
Okay.
We didn't get the percentage.
Where we ended up, mayor and council, we ended up at 63.48% vaccinated folks.
That's good.
100, and I'm proud of our employees, I told
Yeah,
you.
that's good.
186 did get that vaccination.
Yeah.
And we didn't use 310 as a number because that's the allocated position. We used 293 as the number. And so we did not make the 80% mark. And so our plan, again, is next week, all employees will get the $100, as Mr. Riggs said. And those that gave us their vaccination card, we are gonna make the $250 additional dollars as what y'all voted on. Couple of things that I did ask staff to do today. Just in case we had some employees, in particular, we have one department, and I'll call, public utilities had the lowest percentage, and I just want to make sure that all those employees, Mr. Riggs, knew about the opportunity to give their cards. And even though the 15th was a deadline, if they did not know, and they have their cards, and they're willing to turn their cards in, we will still make sure they get the additional funds that y'all authorized. But we did not make the 80% mark as council set out in order for employees to get $500. So at this point, those that were vaccinated, will get $350. Those that were not vaccinated will get $100. That's the point.
And we already voted on that.
You did, you did.
Okay, well, I'm
I thought it
backtracking.
was for everybody.
Yeah, we could still, you could still ask if we got money available to
Oh,
just
we have
increase
money.
the basic,
We have money.
the $100, I know.
Oh,
But I
we
mean,
have
if we could find an appropriate place to draw it from, then we could increase the base to 200 for everybody, and then the extra 250 for the ones who turned in vaccination proof. I mean, that's something you could do.
Mr.
But
Coon,
we're not there.
let me ask you this question. This funding that's coming out of ARPA funds, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I would like the council to support, I think 63% is good. And I would like the council to make a motion to, honor the 80% for those, that's 63%. And then provide an extra, $100 for everybody else for Christmas out of that ARPA funding. Because at the end of the day, these employees didn't get any time off. They came in every single day during a very tough COVID situation. And at the end of the day, they put their lives on the line to make sure that the people in this city remain clean and safe. So that's what my thought process is, so, and go ahead.
So I just want to be clear. So for the ones that submitted, you want to do the $500?
Yeah.
The one eighty-six. How many did you say it was? What was the number?
Yeah, 186.
186.
And if we get some of those that did not
Yeah.
know, we can add
Yeah.
them.
You wanna give 180, you wanna give 186 of them $500?
Plus the
Yeah,
$100.
Plus the $100.
Plus the 100.
Yeah.
So they'll get $600?
Or two.
Now, we set a guideline that 80%, and I think we need to stick with that. Now, if we wanna give the employees, everybody, $250 for Christmas, because they worked hard this year, and that's what we do, that's great. But we set the guidelines, and they didn't meet it, and I'm sorry, but, you know.
I agree with Phil on
I
this
have
one.
a question.
Okay, that's y'all.
And when we gave out that extra 500, that was for.
Last year.
Oh, that was last year.
Yeah.
Jeez, I was playing.
Yeah,
That
so,
was last year.
so we got, go ahead, Sharon.
We got a couple of proposals, sounds
One
like,
thing
but
I think-
I'm kind of thinking like Phil, not to punish anybody, but not to take away the reward or the incentive of the people who may have been on the fence, but did the research and decided to get a vaccine. I don't want them to lose getting more than folks who did not make that decision. So I'm more in favor of,
Just let it stay.
well, like
what
it is, but then we can increase the base of 100 to 200 for everybody. Because just like we can use ARPA money to do that.
We set a standard, we gotta stick to it. Like, I'm not gonna, okay, this is how you get the reward. If you don't do it, you don't get rewarded. Plain and simple. And we love what you do, but that's just the base, that's what we set.
So do
So
we,
stick to it.
so Phil, what's your proposal?
I
What's
just
your
said, if
motion?
we wanna, I think everybody in the city, worked hard, regardless of whether they got a vaccination, they had to deal with all the stress of it over the year. So if we, and to John's point, I agree, everybody in the city, Mary said the same thing. You know, everybody was involved, so if we feel like they've had a stressful year and that they deserve a little bit extra money, at Christmas time, I think that's absolutely, but the other part with the reward, I mean, we clearly set some parameters and I think we gotta
So
honor those parameters.
do we want everybody to get the 250 and those that got their?
Everybody get 250 and then.
Everybody that's
Then
got-
the 180 get the 500.
Okay,
Well, yeah,
so
another
that's, so that's how we,
I thought it was,
So,
I thought it was,
Oh, no, I apologize, I meant the 250.
250 is the baseline, but those that got their vaccination get an additional 250.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Yeah,
what,
That's what you meant?
so every employee will get
that's
$250 extra.
Yeah.
I'm good, okay.
We made the sale, stop selling?
Okay.
So
All right, so
then-
John,
didn't
did you wanna
sell
make
it.
that, John, did you wanna make that motion?
I have a
And then-
question.
Okay, go ahead. Hold on, wait, so finish up.
So we're doing it 250 for every, so is this moving forward or is this
Just for
this year?
Yeah.
Just for this year, then next year.
So they'll go
And
back
it's
to
coming out
100.
off of funding.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so John, you
Hold on.
wanna make that
Hold
motion?
on.
Yeah, I do, tell me what to say.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Mayor,
Mr. Penny is saying it's not coming out of the.
Mayor.
Not the Christmas.
Not the Christmas.
Not the Christmas.
The vaccination.
The vaccination will be able to come out of that.
The other can.
Okay, and so, well, hold on, let's pull our horses back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, if it's not coming out of ARPA, are we in a position to do
We
it?
are.
Okay, all right, so John, do you wanna make that motion?
Sure, what do I say?
Motion to set Christmas bonus at $250
There you go.
instead of $100 this year.
That's it.
Motion to set Christmas bonuses at $250 this year instead of $100.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
I got something else to say.
Go
So,
ahead.
with those, leftover gift cards, is this still gonna be the last giveaway for those?
We will keep giving them away until
Until
they're
they're
gone.
gone?
And-
That was what I said.
Yeah, and I
I
haven't.
think the ones who got booster shots, they get the gift card, you keep going over and over and over again.
Yeah,
Gotta
not
get
the
rid of these
boosters
cards.
for their first shot.
It's on.
So we did good the last time.
Yeah, we saw that, that was popular, yeah.
So that brings up another point, though, that we need to think about. We're gonna keep doing the vaccination clinics. There's gonna be vaccination clinics, because now children can get it too.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at possibly December 3rd, looking to see if there's a provider available to do the big downtown First Friday stuff, when there's a lot of people downtown, to make a vaccination clinic available then. So do we wanna look at, once we've handed all those out, the possibility of getting more? There's still also funds that can be used for that. This is a lot less than we initially talked about when we thought a sweepstakes was easy.
Yeah, it is.
So do we wanna authorize if we sell them all out next week to buy 50 more, or what do you think?
I think we should see where we're at next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we won't meet again before December 3.
Yep, we love December. Oh, I guess we'll get enough time.
Yeah. That's on council. What would y'all like?
I think that we
Mr.
should
Penny,
keep
you have a
giving them out.
suggestion there?
Do what?
You give a suggestion?
My concern is being caught with a lot of, extra cards. And so that's why we've been giving these out, and last Saturday was really good. I would, if I was gonna buy some additional cards, I probably wouldn't do more than about 30 cards. That would give us about 72 cards.
Okay.
And we were averaging about 30
Yeah.
vaccinations. And we're not giving them for boosters, we're giving them for first time and second time. But if y'all authorize us to get 30 additional cards, I could recommend that, so we don't get caught.
What about if we authorize 100 to be purchased at your discretion, your speed, and that you determine? I mean, you're the one that's.
If you give me that authorization, we will buy them in intervals, so we.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, you can, that way, if you need 35, you don't have to come back to that for that, you know?
Yeah, that sounds good. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else, Sharon?
No.
I have one more.
I still got a couple items.
I would like to recite Act 2 from Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, no.
By-
Yeah, we're gonna move on. All right,
You can talk as long as you stand on one leg.
yeah, Mr. Penny.
Mayor and members of the council, we do have a couple of items. You have at your place, at the last meeting, you awarded a contract to John Deere tractor, for a John Deere tractor. And the amount that was awarded was $30 less than the bid price. And so for the record, I need to come back to you so we can correct the records and set the price. The price should be $39,663.33. And so we're asking you, there was a typo in that original document, and we just need to correct that for the record. If we could get a motion to do that.
Second.
All right, hurry up. Keep up, Mayor.
All right, is there a motion to approve the $30 increase for the John Deere purchase?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? All
Second.
those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Mr. Anything else?
Mayor, couple more items, yeah. Because of the census, there's, a requirement that we look at our districts. And we received a letter from, and it was in your FYI packet. And so, a couple of ways this can be done, we can look to the legislature to have them look at our districts, or we can work with the CRC, and they can do it at no cost for us, and they can get it turned around pretty quickly. The great thing is, we just had an election, and so we just need to make sure that this is done before the next qualifying period, which is 2 years out. But our senator asked us to get this information to him sometime in January. So you can either let the legislative office do it, let the CRC do it, or we could go get a private contractor, but that would take time. I would recommend that we use CRC to do the analysis of our districts. And we'll come back to you and let you know if they're out of balance or anything like that. And we can get that done pretty quickly. So I just wanted to inform you, unless y'all have an objection, that's the way we would plan to proceed.
Sorry, I have an objection. I am very particular about my district and all the ones that I know there, and I don't want anybody from the state coming and messing it up.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna have to move, you're gonna have to change course.
They still don't live in my neighborhood.
Now, you told me this was gonna happen.
We did it last time 10 years ago.
Go ahead, Mr. Penny.
No, we did it internally,
We did it internally.
pseudo internally, but CRC is probably a good option.
Yes, and we work with them, and that's why we would recommend it. And then once they do it, we still have to get the state, they have to verify.
Well, that was my question. You said we have only 2 years, but I think this has gotta go for the legislature in 2022.
Yeah,
We can't wait till 2023, can we?
No,
Yeah.
we need to get it done because they want it up there in January.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So y'all okay with us?
My recommendation is to do everything I can to keep District 4 just like it is.
Okay.
And so if CRC comes down and says they want to change it, I will not be for it.
You're going to have to change it if we've had population change. You're going to
I
have
know
to-
that, but I want to be able to change it.
Oh.
Mr. Penny?
Mayor, I'm just trying to make sure I hit everything we did.
And there's nothing illegal about that.
We're gonna draw a circle right around you.
And we will get out to y'all the information on our employee Christmas dinner. And probably like the 15th of December when we'll be doing employee Christmas dinner. And it'll be on Georgia Southern's campus. Okay. And other than that, Mayor and Council, I think we're good.
Okay. All right. Are there any public comments? Yep, go.
No, sir, you.
Okay.
She looking like, who?
She has no interest in that.
Okay, I had no idea who.
Yeah, no desire.
So the ad hoc committee you talked about in the previous meeting, is that from the public, or is that made up of somebody?
Yeah, the ad hoc, what we're gonna do is appoint one council member, to address the, ad hoc, and then we'll come back at the beginning of, at the next meeting and announce to the public who all is serving on that ad hoc committee.
Okay, so how's the selection? Is it amongst the public? Or is
No,
it amongst just y'all?
the ad hoc committee is at the mayor's discretion, and so what we'll do is I'll work with Councilwoman Shavers, who's gonna take the point on, the ad hoc committee, and then we'll begin to go out and address, who's gonna be on that. But we welcome input from anybody.
Yeah, I remember at the previous
Yeah.
meeting, you wanted to hear from the public. But we haven't really gotten a chance yet, so.
Yeah, we hadn't started the policy process either.
During the ordinance process, there'll be a minimum of 2 public city council meetings where you'll be able to make any comments you
Yeah.
like. There were 2
But
public
nobody
hearings,
from the
minimum.
public gets to be a part of the committee?
Yeah, everybody, the committee is gonna be a select number of people, because we can't get 33,430
Right.
people on the committee, right? And so we're gonna get a certain number of people to be on that, and what we're gonna try to do is get a varied number of people from different walks of life, alcohol and drug, business, community, hotel.
I'd like to put my name in
industries.
the hat for the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a property owner, I need to sell a piece of property that's a premium corner.
Okay.
That, you know, I wanna understand, you know, if there's encumbrances that I can't sell it to somebody, I'd like to influence that.
Okay, now this, the ad hoc is in regards to alcohol, so.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, so what I would do is give your information to Leah, and then that way she can get all your contact information, and then we'll go from there. But
Okay.
we're gonna take our time to try to make sure we
Yeah,
get a good
I
spot.
just don't wanna lose any opportunity that's available to me, I need to sell the corner.
Okay, we want you to sell that corner, it's a good market out there,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
It's nice to finally put a name to
Yeah,
the face.
we spoke,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
spoke, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely, but Leah, please give us the information.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I wanted to ask about transportation,
Yes, ma'am.
national transportation going through here, like the Greyhound stopping. We suffered and had a big problem with the Greyhounds not stopping through here. The last time I can recall, it was when, right after my mom died, 18 years ago. And I had been coming, I had moved from here, but I had been coming back and forth to city council meetings. I don't think you were the mayor then. I can't remember who was the mayor. But anyway, it's a big problem. They have 3 colleges, Georgia Southern, East Georgia College, and our Ogeechee Technical College. And some of my people that was out of town going to college, when they got here in Statesboro, they had no way to get back to the colleges out of state that they were attending. The elderly people was complaining their eyesight won't allow them to drive to other cities, Atlanta, Macon, Savannah, and they would like to have transportation, national transportation. Some at my church asked me, when did they stop? I said 18 years ago. I was in Savannah bus station, and the fare just fluctuated. It went from what I paid to go down. I think I paid about $10 to go down. And the price kept fluctuating on the screen. It went up to $20 to come from Savannah to Statesboro. But I don't see why we can't have some national transportation. Okay, Greyhound goes to Augusta. It goes through here to Savannah. Then it goes to Hinesville. Why not stop here? So we can have all those poor people who don't have cars, like I say, college students, children going to college, elderly people who don't drive distance anymore. We need that, very much so. And all the time I don't want to drive. I have glaucoma. Sometimes I see well, sometimes I don't. And I don't need to take those long distances to Atlanta, Savannah, all that traffic and trying to drive. So I just wanted to address that, and I thank you for listening.
All right,
Thank you so
What's
much.
your name?
My name is Cara Jenkins.
Ms.
Okay.
Jenkins,
Yeah.
where was the bus station at?
Pardon me?
Where was the bus station at?
I left here at the Statesboro, what that little street is on.
Zeta.
Zeta.
Yeah, I used to catch the bus to Savannah. My mom was going to school in Savannah, and I used to ride the bus as a little boy. My grandma would put me on, and then my mama picked me up at the bus station.
What
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
I would love to take
Yeah,
the bus to
that's-
Savannah and not drive.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
yeah,
So-
absolutely.
I thank you for listening.
Yes, ma'am. I know. Anybody else for public comments? Okay, all right, seeing that there is none. John, you said you wanted to recite the what?
Marcus Aurelius by Shakespeare. Only Act 2.
Mr. Spin, is there a need for executive session? Ms. Lott, council, any need for executive session? No, okay. I do wanna make this announcement before we do leave. Yeah, Vince, don't look at me. We're gonna appoint an ad hoc committee. And with that ad hoc committee, we are gonna bring up some stakeholders and citizens to give some input far as the crafting of the package ordinance. And what we wanna do is just make sure that we're creating policy that's good for the city of Statesboro. And we wanna make sure that, you know, we're completely transparent. So, myself and Councilmember Shavers are gonna work together. We will announce on, the first meeting of December what members are gonna be a part of that. We're open to suggestion as far as anyone that wants to, be a part of that or make a suggestion. That's council and public as well. And then we just wanna be able to make sure we get a good swath of individuals that's able to add their input to that. So we want to be completely transparent about the process and let you know that at the next meeting, we will appoint, we will announce who's been appointed to that committee. With that being said, we'll move down to agenda item 22, and that is a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, can we just congratulate you and Councilman Riggs and Councilman Boyum, and thank you for your willingness to serve again, and thank your opponents who were willing to serve the city of Statesboro through the process.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you. I thank all my opponents.
All in favor?
Wait, who is the second? Nobody.
Venus,
I said so. She said so moved.
Second.
John,
Aye.
they're ready to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.